I don't own a coffee company. This actually may surprise some of you, but we are not a coffee company. Cxffeeblack is not a coffee company. It's an educational company. And well, let me explain. Ms. Bartholomew Jones, my wife and I started a Black-owned movement called Cxffeeblack. We want to make coffee Black again, and we want to use Black culture, in particular hip hop, to create a Afrofuturistic perspective of what coffee could be. Right. So I'm an educator. I'm an MC. I'm a coffee nerd. I say coffee a lot. So how do we not own a coffee business? We have what I like to call a digestible, consumable curriculum. Okay, so we want to educate people about Black history and a Black future by using a product that comes from Black people that just so happens to be the most widely consumed liquid on the planet after water. Some people say tea, but we're not going to worry about those people. So every product in our catalog is a bite-sized piece of curriculum that introduces you into a larger concept surrounding the connection between coffee and Africa and the various realities that have happened to the communities that come from Africa. One of our products is an example. This is our bestseller. It's called Gucci Mane. It is coffee grown in the southern region of Ethiopia. We actually shot a documentary about going to that community for the first time. My first time going to Africa. We just won an international film award. Ethiopian coffee is a gateway drug. The coffee plant was stolen from Africa in 1616 by 2 Dutch spies. 3 years later, the first stolen bodies landed in Jamestown, Virginia. So shout out to that. We beat out the world's biggest coffee YouTuber, 1.65 million subscribers. It was crazy. This product is our only coffee that's offered year round, which is why I say we're not a coffee company, right? Because most coffee companies have plenty of products that you can grab all year long. We do offer other seasonal drops, but I got to explain those. Gucci Mane is so important to what we're trying to educate people about the reality of. Number one, we wanted to make sure anytime people interact with our brand or our company that they learn about the fact that coffee comes from Africa, right? And the best way to explain that, the 101, if you will, of our curriculum is that coffee was discovered, Arabica specifically, was discovered in Ethiopia in 850 BC, and that product later was used to enslave Black people via the slave trade when we look in Brazil and the Caribbean, and also it affected other communities as well, right? When we look at indigenous people around the world. So that history, right, is on the back of the bag, right? The fact that the connection from when coffee was stolen, which is in 1616, to when the first slaves, though that date is debated, when the first slaves arrived in the United States of America was in 1619. It's a 3-year gap. It's crazy to see how connected all of this stuff is. We do have other coffees, right? So these coffees then kind of walk you through each country where Black people have produced coffee as it leaves Africa via colonialism and comes to the States with slavery, comes to the, when I say the States, I mean the Americas, right? Because coffee was not grown in like the United States of America, to my knowledge, by slaves. I realize at the end of the day, it always comes down to who has the money, and those people decide what can be said, or you risk your job in order to say what you believe needs to be said. And so by switching to a for-profit business, we were able to then have the freedom to speak, and now we just need to use our creativity to use products to further help communicate that, and also to bring funds in to keep the lights on, things like that. A bunch of other products that have like deep educational meaning. I do want to say that this coffee is roasted by a Black woman, the most beautiful Black woman in the world, which is my wife. And that's for a reason, right? First of all, because she's dope and she can do anything, but also because the first roasters on the planet were Black women. And in fact, the supply chain behind this whole product is Black. So roasters, the baristas who brew it in our community at the Anti-Gentrification Coffee Club, which some of y'all know about, some of y'all don't. I'll explain that in a different video. The importer, which is a Black company called Equatorial Coffee Consultants, the exporter in Ethiopia, which is Addis Exporter, the community leaders who organize and educate and help the farmers to be able to pick correctly and provide resources to the community, which is Ture Waji and Suko Coffee. The farmer himself, Tamaru, is the lead farmer, as well as a lot of other farmers at a lot called the Green Spring Lot, which we visited, which is in the documentary. Gucci. But I wanted to share that with you all because a lot of the things that we do are different and people kind of see it, they kind of understand. But yeah, we are not a coffee company. We're actually an educational company.